CJ Stroud came into the league and lit it up as a rookie. He had the poise, the accuracy, the leadership, all the traits that made people jump the gun, myself included, and call him the next great NFL quarterback. Some people even had him top 5 after just 1 year. But here's the truth. Stroud's sophomore season told a much different story. His numbers dipped, the hits piled up, and now the question isn't whether he's great, it's whether he's headed for just a sophomore slump blip or something real that should concern Texans fans long term. And if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I post honest NFL breakdowns every single week. So, looking at his rookie year, Stroud threw for over 4,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. He averaged 274 passing yards a game, and he had a quarterback rating of over 100. He even led the Texans to a playoff win, something that nobody saw coming. He looked calm, decisive, and ahead of schedule for NFL quarterbacks. And for a good reason, people were calling him one of the top young quarterbacks in the league. In fact, his deep passing grade from PFF in 2023 was ridiculous at 99.3, which was literally the best in the NFL. That's the type of number you only see from elite veterans, not rookies. But here's the thing about the NFL, year 2 is when defenses kind of adjust to how you play. They take away your favorite throws, they take away your favorite receivers in games, and this is when protection starts to matter more and when hype sort of meets reality. As for his sophomore season, 2024's Stroud kind of slipped across the board. His passing yards per game dropped from 274 to 230, his touchdown percentage fell from 4.6 to 3.6, and his interception rate more than doubled from just 1% to 2.3%. His quarterback rating was also down from 101 to 86, and this is not some small regression. It's the type of dip that tells you defenses kind of had him figured out. And hopefully most of you didn't rush to the comments saying I was dissing Stroud without talking about the offensive line, because that's where this comes in. As most of you probably know, Houston's offensive line became its Achilles heel late into the season. PFF ranked that unit just 25th in the NFL, and Stroud took the second most sacks in the entire league. In fact, between the regular season and playoffs, he had 274 dropbacks under pressure, the most of any quarterback in football. And take a second and think about that. He spent more time running for his life than anyone else in the league. And unfortunately for Stroud and the Texans as a whole, it gets worse. The Texans have since traded away their best lineman in Laramie Tunsil, leaving the line without a single player who earned a grade above 70 according to PFF, and this is a huge concern moving forward. But the struggles weren't just about protection or limited to the offensive line. Stroud's deep passing grade cratered from first in the NFL in 2023 all the way down to 29th, and part of that was the line, but it was also part on Stroud not connecting the same way downfield. The big play juice disappeared, and we'll get into why in a second. Before we can do that though, this is where the media narrative sets in. Stroud's rookie year was electric, of course, but the media wanted to skip the real process of a quarterback's development. They crowned him elite and set the expectations sky high before he'd even had time to face the NFL's eventual counterpunch. So let's look at the history. You've got Justin Herbert, who put up monster rookie numbers and was crowned the next superstar, but years later the Chargers are still waiting for him to deliver in the playoffs. Then you've got a guy like Baker Mayfield, who broke Cleveland's rookie touchdown record and looked like the savior, but year 2 humbled him quickly. And Robert Griffin III was the most exciting rookie in the league in 2012, only to fall off completely once defenses adjusted and injuries piled up for him. Now, as unfortunate as that story is with RG3, it still kind of points to what I'm talking about, the media narrative. The difference with guys like these and guys like Joe Burrow, per se, is they didn't just survive this adjustment period or this sophomore slump, they elevated their game. Burrow went from flashes as a rookie to a Super Bowl run in year 2, and that's the step that Stroud hasn't taken yet. Right now, he looks more like the guy who got crowned too early and not the one that actually proved it. So far, Stroud hasn't done anything to prove that he's the next superstar of the NFL. He has stable metrics. Things like his clean pocket grade, standard dropback grade, and avoiding negative plays are solid, all in the 65th to 75th percentile range. But the unstable areas, being under pressure, being outside the pocket, deep passing last year, all of these dipped hard in 2024. And here's the truth. Those are the exact areas defenses test when they want to expose whether a quarterback is elite or just good. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on Stroud and he's definitely not falling off a cliff. His overall PFF grade in 2024 was still 80, which is borderline top 10 level. He was tied for 11th best passing grade in the NFL despite all the hits he took, and that's impressive. And he still has all these flashes of elite traits. On 3rd and 4th down, he graded in the 90th percentile. That tells me the moment isn't too big for him, and his leadership, his accuracy, his ability to make throws at the sticks are still things that are there for him. But when you lead the league in pressure dropbacks, when your deep passing grade goes from number 1 to number 29, and when your offense trades away your best lineman, it's a real concern. If I'm the Texans front office, I'm not panicking, but I'm not pretending everything's perfect either. Stroud has to show in year 3 that he can adapt, that he can overcome shaky protection, and that the deep ball magic comes back. Otherwise, the hype train might derail fast. And hopefully most of you haven't clicked off yet, because another thing that doesn't get talked about enough is the wide receivers he has. Houston's passing game was basically a revolving door last season. Tank Dell couldn't stay healthy, Nico Collins missed time here and there, Stephon Diggs was hurt, and it felt like every week Stroud was working with a different set of weapons. And that matters. Timing, chemistry, trust, they're all built on reps. When you're constantly swapping in backups, rookies, or guys who weren't even expected to have major roles in the first place, it's going to show up on the field. To his credit though, Stroud still found ways to compete. Nico Collins is an established wide receiver as one of the best deep threats in the league, and when he's on the field, I expect Houston's offense to be much more dynamic, especially in the deep passing game. But when somebody's injured, like a Nico Collins, like a Tank Dell, like a Stephon Diggs, defenses can really key in and make life much harder on a young quarterback. So let me throw the questions back at you. Is this just a sophomore slump, the kind of regression we see from other young quarterbacks before they eventually bounce back and prove us wrong? Or is it the start of a long-term concern in Houston? Would you take CJ Stroud over a guy like, say, Justin Herbert or Dak Prescott even? Drop your take in the comments because I want to hear where you stand on CJ Stroud. And let me be clear before you go crazy in the comments, I believe in CJ Stroud. I think he's very talented. I think he has all the tools needed to succeed, but all I am asking is that he prove it to me before I buy in fully. Show me that he can overcome the pressure. Show me the deep ball will come back, and show me you can take the next step in the NFL. Regardless, if you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more NFL breakdowns, and thank you for watching.